Friday Traum. I'd like to welcome you to my chord study and give you some really cool ideas about how to put chords together and just show you as many chords and progressions as I can. Let's start in the key of D. This is my favorite key. I love Ds, probably because they're so easy to make. So here's your D chord. Now, rather than go through ordinary chords, I want to show you a couple little tips. Add one finger, and you get the D suspended. So you got your D suspended. Play that first string open with a D chord, with an E on top. There are some cool things that guitar players do in the key of D, which is really a matter of adding bass notes to it. You got your D, then you might want to add your C in the bass. So it's... These are tips of doing simple moves to get kind of new and interesting sounding chords out of it. It occurs to me that there are so many cool things in D. I wanted to show you a couple of more things, and so I interrupted myself there for this update from the studio. If you're in D and you do the suspended chord, it's really neat to go from that suspended chord to an A7th suspended, which sounds like that. The other one, there's this old folk song that, I've been playing since I was a kid, and I'm sure you know it. It just goes like this. We sail on the sloop John B. My grandfather and me, round Kingston town we did roam. Now E has its own set of rules, and the interesting thing about the guitar is that each key has its own set of rules. For example, you can make an E7th that looks like this, or you can make an E7th that looks like this, where the 7th is the 4th string open. One of my favorite things to do is going through a series of progressions that sort of use the old rock and roll form, which is E to C sharp minor 7th, and that's done as a bar on the 4th fret with an A minor above that, to an F sharp minor 7th, to B 7th, and then back to E. By the way, there's a great E 9th you could play when you're ready to stretch your fingers out. It looks like that. And at a certain point, this chord progression was used a lot in those kinds of songs. And I love this. I mean, what's better than just like these easy chords? You could even take that E chord, move it up to the 6th fret, and you have this really cool A. So it's just the E position, nothing's changed, up on the 6th fret, and you get, oh, without my Corina, it sure don't mean a natural thing. So that's sort of your 2-chord approach to it. E, B 7th, you might even throw in an A. We'll get to that in a second. But using these chords that we just went through, you could try, I got a bird to whistle, I got a bird to sing, I got a bird to whistle. Here's your basic C. This is your sort of simple bar chord, barring the 5th fret and playing pinky on the 8th of the 1st string. Then you got your bar on the 8th fret. That's sort of the smallest C chord you could make. You can also cover your 6th string, or your fifth and sixth together. So it looks like this. So if you start on C and then drop your bass note and go to A minor, it's kind of a neat thing. C, drop your bass note down to B, and then you wind up on A. One of my favorite songs goes back to the 1860s, 1870s, and it has a great descending line. It's a song called Diamond Joe, and it goes something like this. There is a man you hear about most every place you go. His holdings are in Texas. His name is Diamond Joe. He carries all his money in a diamond-studded jar. He never gave much bother to the process of the law. I hired out. In the key of C, your relative minor is A minor. And the key of A minor is just full of great chords. One of them is an A minor seventh. And what you can start doing again is that descending bass line we were just doing in C. You got A minor seventh, a G in the bass, an F, an E.